Welcome to Toffee TV, proudly backed by Ladbrokes for the season. This is the match preview, Swansea City versus Everton. Another opportunity for Swansea to beat us, to stay up. like last season. Well, it has. No, what, this has got real parallels with last season. Obviously Swansea last season did the same thing. They went on a bit of a run towards the end of the season. And obviously managed to stay up. They've done something similar this season. Currently on 32 points. Yeah. A win for them would get them to 35. And I think I think that would keep them up.
35.
Southampton are on 28. What did you try? 8. Fucking Stephen. Stephen Hawkins
channels me in a Stephen Hawkins. 8. They will be on 8 points.
And so they play Chelsea in the early kick-off. If they get beat by Chelsea, then that'll push Swansea on a little bit, I think, because I think if they can get I think if they can get 35 points, I think that'll actually keep them up. There's us in the lofty heights of 41.
There's no good result for us then, is there? Because if Chelsea beat them, that'll spare Swansea on. If Southampton win, that'll spare Swansea on. You know, a 0-0 draw then. If they were to lose, 7 points would be a massive thing for Swansea if they could get with only 12 to play. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think Southampton's last game is Manchester City at home, and
they play us the week before.
And they've got us, so
we're alright at home. Yeah. But I think what this game will demonstrate for us, it's come after those, obviously the 2 difficult home games. We know we're safe now. Those 2 games sort of took care of themselves in terms of you have to sort of try and get to the level of who you're playing. Man City, we got nowhere near them. Liverpool, ultimately we should have beat them, even though we didn't play well for 80 minutes. This is like back down to earth, isn't it? Playing a game against Swansea, you know, it's not the best place to get to. It's one of them. It's like, you know, everything's on them to win the game rather than us. There's nothing on us. There's no spotlight on us. But that, for me, is the reason why we're, you know, due a performance. I think the last away game we beat Stoke, and I think this is a real I think this game sort of shows where our last. I know there's not many games left, but this sort of shows whether our season is just gonna peter out into an absolute nothing, or like it did last season, or we're actually gonna try and go for the last few games and the pressure's off, and now the pressure's off, can the players just go, yeah, we're gonna win a few games now?
Well, there's 15 points to play for.
Mets.
And Everton, a decent side, could get 15 points. Well, you know, the games we've got, you know, no disrespect to the likes of Swansea, but we're well above them with a better side. With Swansea, Huddersfield, Newcastle, Southampton and West Ham.
Yeah.
He couldn't
ask for
5 more favourable opportunities to win Premier League matches. So, do I think Everton will win all 5? No. But the opportunity is there to do so. Now, up until a couple of years ago, Swansea had never beaten us in the Premier League. They had that one cup win over us under Martinez. You know, till that, they'd never beaten us. They beat us at Goodison, the old John Stones back pass to Howard for the penalty, and that we lost, and Coleman somehow blazed over from underneath the bar in injury time. Lost that one, and we lost last year 1-0, Fernando Llorente's header, which was a terrible game.
It was.
It's probably about this time, or maybe
it was about this time. It was this time.
Awful game. Sigurdsson, I think, created the goal, didn't he, for that?
Well,
he did. But normally, and quite often, we've gone to the Vetchfield and the Liberty Stadium and performed and got good results there. Remember us beating them 3-0 under David Moyes, and we were fabulous when Morales scored the header, and Baines and Fellaini, we were fantastic, and we've got other wins there and draws. So, you know, you remember the Coleman and the Barkley goals in that 2-1. So it's a place that we've done quite well. I think the head-to-head, Everton have won 16, we've drawn 9, only lost 3. But like you just said, all the emphasis is on them. They need the points, but what's happened recently with Swansea is they were on an unbelievable run under Carvajal, they really were. He just had a little bit of a petering out when went to Brighton and got spanked 4-1, but recovered really well to beat West Ham, and then got beat at home heavily by Spurs in the Cup and had a draw at West Brom, and it's just
beating at Old Trafford.
I think they drew with Huddersfield as well, 0-0.
Did quite well in that game.
Yeah, so they're a decent side. They got some good players. The manager's got them playing some nice football, but this to me is a game for Everton where there's no pressure, absolutely no pressure, and a game they can quite comfortably win by matching everything Swansea do in terms of work rate and that. Now, are Everton great at that? No. But we've got, you know, we went to Stoke the other week and we were still in a little bit of trouble, I would say.
Well, yeah, we needed one more, didn't we?
And they needed a win, and all week had been built up in Stoke, the biggest game in Stoke's history. And Everton, well, okay, Charlie Adam got sent off on that, but Everton went there and won. So they've shown a little bit of resilience that day. They're going to need to show more at the weekend. Yeah,
and as I say, I think because, again, it's one of those games, like you just said about the Stoke game, where as a Swansea fan, I'd be thinking these are only two-way games. We're doing all right at home. We're full of confidence from where we were. We can see now that there's an opportunity to stay up. This is the day. If we can win today, then it's a game at home. It puts a real distance between us and the bottom three. If Southampton do get beaten, I think that's where we've got to. Mentally, we've got to be on it. We cannot let this be another game like last season where we just go and we're just there to make up the numbers, because that's just not on. That is just not on for me. And I've seen it far too many times before, and we've seen it at the end of last season. It fucking disgusts me, actually, as a fan, to watch a team just go through the motions in the last few games, flip-flops on, shorts on, ready for the summer. That fucking pisses me off, actually. It's a game of football. Go in there and play. You're in a privileged position. And I'm sick of seeing these players who, just I've already give up the season. Oh, we'll have a go this week because we're playing Man City. Oh, well, you didn't. Or we're playing in a derby. Well, you didn't. The last 10 minutes. You know what I mean? And for me, I think that's where the characters of the team have got to stand up. I think we've got a few more at the moment, which is good. With Jags and Coleman and Baines being in there, and I think there's a few more in there. But I think I hope, I hope that players go in there thinking, fuck these, let's beat these today, let's get another away, let's finish the season well so that next season we come back and we're happy. And I know we say this every year, but like you just mentioned, there's five teams there below us who really we should be beating. We should at least finish the season with 3 more wins, as far as I'm concerned. At least 3 more wins. You know what I mean? 3 more wins at least from those 5. 2 very winnable home games. I'd say they'll be easy, but they're winnable. And you just 3 away games where you look and think we can get a win from one of these games.
It's a challenge for the players between now and the end of the season. It's a challenge. Can you perform? When it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? Like you've just said, it's not flip-flops time. It's a Premier League games. Are you bothered about next season? Are you putting this in with one eye on next season? If there's a new manager to come in, these are the games he's going to be. These are the games he's going to be looking at. Some of these tapes. So what are you going? Are you going to show him that you can be part of this squad? For the likes of Tosin, can you continue? Can you get some goals?
Finish on a high.
You've scored a few goals on the run. You've had 2 home games against better opposition. You haven't had the sniff really, and should have really scored at the weekend. But can we create more opportunities for him against weaker opposition? Walcott, can you get in the game more? Balassi, can you actually do anything? Because at the moment, I don't know what you're all over the place. Produced a cross against Stoke to give us the opening goal. Same with Brighton, but then for the rest of the game, just step up, not really doing anything. Man City scores a goal, but frustrates the life out of you every other. And then at the weekend against Liverpool, terrible. So what's his level of performance? Can you go to Swansea, run them up and down, and get wide and cross it, that kind of thing, Can we include Klaassen and Vlasic in the 18?
This was what I was going to ask you. Obviously, you had the conversation with Ian on the Tuesday topic on Patreon about, the players who have been sidelined. Is this an opportunity now with the last 5 games to look at, to say to the likes of Lasses and say to the likes of Klaassen, right, now is the time to come in? I know he said, I think he said to the written press after the derby, well, I can't really play those players because if we lose them, well, I'm not being funny, but the way he said it was about me. You, listen, Sam, if you're watching, no one likes you, mate. And I'm being honest when I say that. No one likes you. You know, and whether that's just on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, I've got bad news for you. Nobody likes you. There might be a pocket full of... No, it's not. It's not us. As a manager, listen, he might be the nicest man in the world. He might be the nicest granddad in the world. He might be the most warmest, best person in the world. But Everton fans just don't like him. And I'm being honest when I say that. And apparently some ex-players who are ambassadors of the club don't like him either. He's not liked. So making decisions are not going to make you any less popular. You know, I'll be honest about that. In fact, if you bring Klaassen in and Klaassen doesn't play well, I guarantee you people won't say, why did you play Klaassen? They'll say, at least you had a look at him. But if you do, and we've said this about players before, I remember, you know, when we used to go with Tim Howard and we talked about Joel, and we said about, you know, bringing him back for 1 game and stuff. There's no point. If you're gonna bring Klaassen or Vlasic in, you've got to give him, like, he's got to play some part in every game, so that it's not just, because this is the thing, he's brought Vlasic back, played him, he hasn't looked good, and bang, he's gone. You don't see him again for 6 weeks. How can you do that to a footballer? Because
you're expecting him to hit the ground running every time he gets in and plays, and he's under pressure then to have an absolute stormer.
Yeah.
And otherwise you back out the team, and it's difficult for any footballer, I don't care who you are, to get dropped into a team and go perform.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
In a team that doesn't perform.
Exactly. So I think me and him are kind of saying that he's got to almost strip away his own emotions from this. He's done it.
Ego. It's only ego.
His ego of like, but I don't know whether he can, because I don't know whether he wants to get us to 50 odd points and go, see, look what I done, I produced when I needed to, blah blah blah. But he's listen, we said it on, I think it was the final word, he's done what it was asked of him. He's done that. So no Evertonian can turn around to him and go, you didn't do what you were brought in to do. Because whether we like him or not, whether we want him to remain or not, he's done the job he was asked to do. Get Everton away from the relegation zone, and he's put us in the top half of the table. We've got to the top half of the table with him in charge. Whether he's done that or not, who knows, but he's the man. The other lads who had to go over it weren't doing it. Koeman wasn't doing it. David Unser, bless him, wasn't doing it. He had a bad run of games, I accept that, mostly away from home. I think if Unser would have had more home games, it might have been a bit different. But, you know, we might, if Ronald Koeman would have stayed in charge, we may have still, well, possibly we would have just been where we are now. Fair enough, but he wasn't, he was chased. So Sam Allardyce has done what he's asked to do, but he can do a bigger service to the club now by going, I'm going to have a look at these 2 lads for you, because then a new coach or whatever can take these on next season. He can look at these and go, these lads aren't up to it or whatever. Get the information for the new fella, or if he's staying, get it for yourself, because we know all about Schneiderlin. Do you know what I mean? We know about Tom Davies, we know about Wayne Rooney, we know about Garner. We know nothing about Vlasic, we know nothing about Davy Klaassen. Davy Klaassen's played 6 minutes of Premier League football since September. It's April. He come for 24 million. He's the fucking Ajax captain. So, and there'll be a lot of people who go, he's not good enough, he's not good enough. Well, fair enough, but to me, you've made a snap decision there based on him getting dropped into a team that was nowhere near it at the start of the season against good opposition. Now, Davy Klaassen might prove not to be good enough at this level, but we don't know.
We don't know. You know. We don't know also if he wasn't good enough or he isn't good. We don't know what the reasons are. Do you know what I mean? Like Sigurdsson comes into the team and you looked at him and you know he didn't. You look and going well. But they stuck with him because, well, for 2 reasons really. Because he was paid 45 million for him, and also because he's a Premier League player. So they thought, well, once he gets fit, he'll get back into it, and he did. Now, Klaassen's slightly different because, you know, he comes from outside, he's not used to the Premier League, so he's got, actually, you need to give him more time. But you got to ask the questions, was he fit enough? Is he fit enough? You know, does he have, is that the problem? Is he just not sharp enough? You know, we've seen that with other players who are just not up to it. You know, it takes them a little bit of time to get used to that speed and getting the ball out of the feet. Yeah. But also with Klaassen, he came into a midfield that was fucking all over the place. Rooney didn't have a position. Like, it was just, I mean, think about it. Rooney, Klaassen and Sigurdsson are trying to play in this three where Rooney's playing in the wrong position, Sigurdsson wasn't anywhere near fit, and Klaassen's trying to fit into the Premier League. Well, very easy to just get rid of one of those, and it was Klaassen picked up and got time for you, mate. You only can't cost half as much as him, and he'll sort himself out, and that's Wayne Rooney, and we'll just move his position. So we used to say now with a little bit more of a settled midfield, Garner back, you can't just
Baines and Coleman in there.
Exactly, a bit more consistency.
Stability.
Keane settling down a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't want to jump over the, you know.
He's
improved since the Burnley game, since not being next to Ashley Williams. He's calmed down a little bit and is playing the game, and it's obviously
got Jags there.
Jags is holding his hand and getting him through the games and stuff.
Klaassen's got Theo Walcott
on
the outside.
There's more. You've got a centre forward in front of you now. You could say
keeps the ball.
You could say to Wayne Rooney this week, listen, this is not your game. This is Klaassen's game. We'll play Klaassen for an hour and then we'll bring you on, and then next week might be the other way round.
He could have Tom Davies next to Garner, couldn't he? You know, or if he wanted to be that bit more offensive, go, all right, well, we'll have Garner and Schneiderlin as two solid midfield players, and we'll play Klaassen ahead of them. Do you know what I mean? Then Klaassen can get involved, because the other thing with Davy Klaassen was he was playing in the 10 when we had Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Sandro as our strikers. Neither of them great to keep. Well, Calvert-Lewin was just learning the game. Ironically, he'd be a lot better now because he knows the game now. He keeps it a bit better. But at the start, he wasn't. He was still a bit of a running centre forward. Sandro, Ed was up his own arse trying to get shots away. But don't blame him for that. He was trying to force his way into that. We didn't have a centre fireworks. You could take the ball down, link the play like Tosin does, and that's what Klaassen had at Ajax.
See, I don't think it's about ability. I think it's more about physique and how you get around the pitch and the actual speed of the game. I mean, you know, we got people who may look at Tom Davies and not go, well, what does he do and stuff. Fine, right? That's fine. But you have to appreciate the fact that he plays because he understands the Premier League game and the same with Dominic Calvert-Lewin in some ways. They understand how fast the game is and how quickly they've got to move the ball. Now, it isn't always perfect. You know, Davies will give the ball away or Dom will give the ball away, but they understand that, and I suppose that's the thing with Klaassen. As a footballer, he's not going to be a bad footballer because he played for Ajax, he played in the Europa League final. He
play for Holland.
Is a good player, but it's whether he knows, whether he's used to the adapt. You know,
but he's only gonna know that from playing games.
Well, of course, and the difference is now to when he played at the beginning of the season. When he played in the beginning of the season, it was just pressure. It was all the pressure of, fucking hell, we're shite. We're not winning games. We've got to do something. We've got to make this team capable of winning games. We can't carry anyone. Now, you think, well, we still need to win games. I'm not you know, saying we don't, but we can probably get away with having a Klaassen in the team, and everything else now has a structure to it. At least it might be good, but it's got a structure. Everyone sort of knows what their job is, and that would make it easier for it to come in. And as I say, beginning of the season, everything was up all over the place.
For all we know, right? He might just turn out to make us even better because he's a clever footballer. Do you know what I'm not saying he will, because I don't know, because I haven't seen that, but I'm certainly not going to write him off the way some people have. I just think we could get a player out of him because he gets used to the speed.
When he played in his last game was the Europa
Come
League
on
game.
Against Brighton.
No, but his last start of the Europa League game.
Yeah.
Now, listen, they were garbage. And how we didn't beat them at Goodison, I'll never know. But they were garbage. And he played in the middle of the park. And obviously it was all nice and slow. And it was at a good tempo for him. But I looked at him that day and thought, well, technically, he's got enough about him.
Yeah. Oh, God,
he kept the game ticking over. And it is just whether he can get up to the speed. But as you just said, the only way you'll know is when he's playing games of football. And that's the only way.
And some players, whether we like it or not, some players are better in games than they are in training, because To be honest, when I was playing, I was always better in a match than I was in training, because I couldn't get that fire in training to go in and smash someone, or the mentality of the game. Do you know what I mean? And he might need, but also he might be doing in training flicks and all that, but does it matter? Because it's what you do when you get out on the pitch, and when he gets out onto Goodison with the crowd, that might inspire.
This is what disappoints me about him not playing for the under 23s, because it's sort of in the between, isn't it? It's an in between level where you can sort of pick up a little bit more.
He played 70 minutes and then he come on at the weekend for us after and then was on the bench again. And then hasn't been on the bench.
What about Vlasic? I mean,
he's another one.
You know, he's another one, isn't he? Could he play off that left-hand side, or would you like to see him play?
I'd like to see him play. See, the other thing,
can you not play both of them then?
No, I wouldn't play both of them. I'd have one off the bench. That's all. Them two, especially between now and the end of the season, would rotate for me. So if Klaassen started, say, at the weekend against Swansea, 70 minutes in, he'd be withdrawn, and Vlasic would go in there for me and just have a look what he looks like essentially. He might not work, I don't know, but that's what he played for Hadjuk, didn't he? So, you know, I don't think he's quick enough to play off the left. I really don't. But last time he played off the left, he had Cuca Martina behind him, who didn't want to get on the outside of him. With Baines, Baines has got the left foot. So I don't know, but I just don't see any value in keeping the likes of Martina on the bench. You know, Funes Mori's on the bench. He's one I want to ask you about, because Vlasic and Klaassen are there. We've now got Keane looking like he's improving, settling down. Jags is fantastic, but he's 35, we know that. And we've got, you know, so we're quite settled at the back, and it's looking much better. Pickford's there and everything's good. Would you consider moving Jags, or
no.
So does Funes Mori just not play again?
Because, and I tell you why, and this is because Jagielka is the only leader we've got, and it's very evident that Michael Keane needs a leader next to him.
Well, okay, so well, my question is then, would you give Funes Mori a game between now and the end of the season? Would you say to Michael Keane, and you've done all right lately, come and your sub today, not because you've done anything wrong, but this lad needs a Premier League game? No. Okay, no.
And I know that's not being nice, and I know he's got a World Cup coming up and all that, but Argentina can play him in friendlies if they want, but I wouldn't, because I just think that if we've got anything going for us, it's that back four, and I think Michael Keane,
he needs a strong
is
finish,
the future of the club at the back, maybe. But the only way that's going to happen is if he has a leader next to him. You've just got to say that not every centre back is a leader, and sometimes you need someone. And I think Jagielka, just for me, it needs to finish the season as a pair.
I do. I think we need to finish the season strongly at the back. I think it helps Jordan Pickford as well. I think it helps Michael Keane. Think
as a five, they know what they're doing. I think we're seeing the benefit of that. You know, we've picked up a couple of clean sheets. Okay, we were a bit all over the place against City, but they can do that. But I think we look more solid in the back. And I just think that, do you know what? I think that I know it's a big if, but I just think that if we got through the whole season with that five, making minimal changes, I think we'd be massively, because I think that's what you build. That's
being above Arsenal.
I think that's what you. Because that's what you build. That's what your basis is. And we've said it from literally the second, third week of the season. As soon as Koeman started going, and just pulling one and pulling out and pulling, it fucked it up. At the time, we were a bit like, well, this is all right because Jags are playing and Ashley Williams are playing, but that was without understanding Keane for me, because
he started well, didn't he?
But
if you think it,
he did.
He started all right. He did. I thought, but then he dropped off.
We didn't know the mentality of him. That lad, confidence-wise, is not saying he's brittle, but it's clear that he needs building up.
Well, don't forget, he's made a big money move. He was at United. Now, okay, just because you're at a big club doesn't really mean anything. He went to Burnley it's not for big money, but he went there on loan and they just kept him permanently. So he was in that team. He knew Ben Mee, he knew Sean Dyche's tactics, he knew everyone in that back four. He moved to Everton for big money. He had big clubs after him. Come to Everton for big money. The next minute the spotlight's on him. He was supposed to be England's centre back, and we started losing games. And you're right, we chopping and changing. He got the injury, and it was a bad injury, and it didn't clear up, and he was making mistakes, and they got reinfected. So
And I think
for a couple of months he struggled.
And I think we've also seen. Don't like to say this, but I think we've seen the character of Ashley Williams. I think when those two play,
I think we've seen a decline of Ashley Williams, and I think
the character mate of Ashley Williams, as far as I'm concerned. Because I think what you've seen a player looking after himself.
But that's because he's in decline.
But Jags is in decline.
You know, but
naturally.
But I think Jags.
But don't you think? Okay. But don't. There you go. Okay. Don't you think part of Jags is to say, you look after me and I look after you? With Ashley Williams, it's just like I'm looking after myself, and that's been to the detriment of the team. And we can see that now very clearly. I think we've seen that.
But I think Jagielka's affinity and love for
that's what I'm saying.
Ashley Williams.
That's what I'm saying. Jags looks at it and goes, you look after me, I look after you. I'll get you through games as long as you get me through games. And they've worked together.
Yeah.
And maybe they just fit better. Well, actually, I think Ashley Williams, we've seen the petulance of him. Get him so again, another player. If you get yourself sent off for Everton Football Club, you're done in my eyes. I mean, apart from being drunk, of course, he's quite regular.
Be careful what you're treading on. No, you're right. And listen, I think a partner the ways for Ashley Williams and Everton is probably the best.
Swansea.
The best.
Should have done last summer.
I think
Swansea last
well, he should have
passed the guilty deal. Yeah. But don't you? I just think that listen. I feel bad for Funes Mori. Don't get me wrong. I feel bad for him. I'd love him to go to the World Cup, but and why is he not playing for the under-23s again? Why? Who makes these decisions? Maybe it's all different. I don't know, but I just think that's strange on its own. But maybe he does enough. Maybe he's playing there's practice matches and all the rest, and that they feel it's enough. And listen, I don't know. I'm not a sports scientist.
Nope.
I don't know. And I've got the best sports scientists. But the best sports scientists in the world.
Professional.
We just have scientists. Not even sports science. We just have like scientists.
Well, I did start by
Stephen Hawkins.
So there you go.
I do feel bad that he, but I'm sorry, but I'm not here to sit and go. But I want him to play in the way. I want Sigurdsson to come back and, and all of that. But I
just think before we finish, what I would say is we're unlikely to have. Well, I'm hoping this isn't a regular thing where we've got a few games at the end of the season that don't mean anything, unless we've won the Premier League in March. Do you know what I mean? And we're just smoking the pancakes. So we've got a unique opportunity to produce some phenomenal displays.
Phenomenal.
Now, we've got almost, you'd like to think it's a unique opportunity with 5 games left to give a couple of these lads and have a look. Even give Benny a go in alongside Garner or what. Give him another little taste before the season finishes. And
listen, we're not talking about 3 or 4. We're talking about 1 or 2
maximum.
And you're looking at the middle of the park and you're looking at it and you go, that's what I'm saying. Most of the structure of the team is there for the rest of the season. It's not about
what benefit is having Cuca Martina on the bench.
Well, there's no benefit if
you've got Funes Mori.
But the
one
point,
defender.
But what I'm saying is, as long as there's a structure there, I look at the middle of the park and I'm sure people will agree with me for different reasons. But there's no reason why Tom Davies does have to play in this game when you could bring Benny in, let's say. And there's no reason why Rooney does have to play every game when you could put Klaassen in there for a game. And there's no reason why Vlasic couldn't play, not with all those changes of course, but there's no reason why Vlasic couldn't come in instead of Balassi or instead of Tom Davies or whatever. There are changes that can be made in that middle of the park or on the left. So
because I think that
why not?
I think that reinvigorates the team. I think that energises the team for these kind of games where it's shite. Because I remember, sorry, I know we're going to finish up, but we played West Ham away last year. It was fucking absolutely dreadful. It was disgusting. The game, the players had flip flops on, and it only got better because Adamola Luchman came on at half time, and all of a sudden he wanted to go by players, and we should have won in the end. We missed about 4 chances in the end, but. That was that where the players in the first half, the team. You're right. In the first half,
it freshens. We're going into a season now where everyone's just like, can't wait for the season to finish. So it freshens everything up just a little bit for that, and it freshens the team up as well for the last few weeks as well. And what it does as well is the opposition go, who's this? We're used to playing this system, or we'll look after Balassi. Oh, Balassi's not playing. Oh, that kid, what does he do? It changes the way you play a little bit for the last few games.
And ironically, Swansea, still a good footballing team. That's the way they play, and this kind of game could benefit a Klaassen or a Vlasic because it will be passing and moving. and all that stuff.
There you go.
I don't know what we talk about there. It wasn't a preview, it was just about players who should have been playing. It wasn't a
preview. No, yeah, it's to be honest, most important thing I think is
we win.
Winning.
Gets a hat-trick.
I think, yeah. I think they've started to learn how to defend better, Swansea, essentially, and they've scored the odd goal. So it's a case of keep a clean sheet and try and nick it.
Get at them, get crosses into the box, and it's a good chance to have a look at Alfie Mawson.
Swap him for Ashley. Big Ash.
Go back. That'll do 2 for 1. They can have Funes as well.
He comes to Barcelona, isn't he?
Apparently, yeah.
Right, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Are you confident about this 3 points, or do you think the season's gonna just peter out? And do you want to see those changes? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Little click, that's all it takes. Click the bell for alerts if you want to know when the videos come out. Apparently YouTube have changed the algorithm so you don't always find out. I don't want you not to miss out on a video like our exclusive interview with Stephen Pienaar, which is Boss, where I just basically told him I loved them, if I'm honest.
Yeah, good job, wasn't there? Because they'd been weird about.
Yeah, he would have had one on each side telling me he loved them, which would have been weird.
I'd have loved that.
Yeah, and if you want more videos, make sure you check out Patreon, where Baz and Ian had a lovely chat on the Tuesday topic, a more in-depth discussion about the play. I haven't even watched it, I'm honest, like. I'm only messing, I had to edit. Let us know your thoughts. Check us out on Patreon if you want that video. Thanks for watching, we'll see you later.